What's up, guys? It's Sean. We're back. Real Housewives of Potomac, Season 7, Episode 2. Review. Let's get right into it. Because the ladies picked right up from where we left off at Karen's spring fling, Karen's kickoff. So let's get into this review. Okay, so we pick up where we left off. So you got Mia and Gizelle still going at it. Mia's like, F you, Gizelle, like, how dare you think that, this whole cancer thing and this cancer announcement is fake or whatever. And Giselle's like, it's not necessarily that I think it's fake, but it feels like it's a cry for attention. Robin jumps in. Yeah, we feel like it was kind of like a cry for attention. The way you posted it and then never said anything, it just kind of seemed like it was just very open-ended. Anyone can take it how they want. And it's just like, we still have answers. So here comes Jacqueline, Mia's friend. And she's like, Mia, are you okay? And that's when she jumps in and she starts defending Mia. She's like, Mia still doesn't even have the answers right now. Like, Mia's still working through this. There's a hard time right now. And it's not right that you guys are kind of just, jumping down her throat about it and everything. So you got Wendy and Ashley. I think the rest of the girls, they're like off in the corner somewhere. So Wendy's kind of like, oh, is that Mia's friend over there? Like, she's over there like getting on them. Like, let's go over there and see what's going on. So Wendy and them comes over and Wendy's like, who are you exactly? Who are you? And she's like, I'm Jacqueline. I'm Mia's friend. She said, oh, you're Mia's friend. Oh, okay. Wendy, I thought that was kind of dry, kind of harsh. You could have been a little more like, oh, you're Mia's friend. Hi, Wendy. Nice to meet you. It was very dry, cut and dry. And it's like, who are you? Like, why are you speaking? Oh, okay. So you know somebody here? Oh, all right. Okay. Or kind of like, who invited you? Oh, you're friends of, oh, okay, and kind of just walk off. That's kind of how it is. Like, if you invite somebody somewhere, or say if I'm hosting something and I see an unfamiliar face and I'm kind of like, who are you? Like, why are you here? Oh, such and such? Oh, okay. Instead of being like, oh, okay, well, I'm Sean, it's my party. Like, thanks for coming, have fun, mingle, make yourself at home. It was like, Wendy was just very dry. Like, who are you? Why are you talking? Oh, okay, you're Mia's friend? Oh, all right, whatever. Continue. So Jacqueline Keith, I just thought, Wendy, that was kind of like a little rude. That would have been the perfect way for you to maybe introduce yourself, or I don't know. It just seemed I was like, Wendy, that wasn't even necessary, but whatever. So Jacqueline's going on and on, just defending her, and Mia's basically like, this is my story, and here comes the rest of the girls. They're all there, and Robin's like, one thing that we're not going to do is act like it's just Robin and Gizelle who thought it. It was you, and you. We all thought it. So we all thought Mia's like post was a little weird. We all thought, the cancer scare was fake, or, some type of like desperate, so to speak, storyline. So Robin just basically like, I'm glad Juan Dixon is not here right now. Like, Robin got into her reunion yelling like she did at the reunion, but and they kind of flash back to where all the girls were being, a little suspicious and, didn't really believe Mia. So Katie's crazy self pops up looking different. A little different than what we were introduced to Katie as. Katie looked a little, for lack of better words, Katie looked a little... I'm gonna leave it at that, okay? But no, Katie's making her way around, and everyone's like, Katie, oh my God. Gizelle takes Katie over to Ray, and they're hugging and everything, and she's like, Ray, Katie had a little crush, she tells Katie, she's like, Katie, Ray had a little crush on you, and we played this game at Karen's house last year. And Katie's like, what? So it was just funny to see, like, Katie is so kind of like, she wants to be back on the show and everything, but she's still kind of just like out of the loop and just in her own little world. Like, bless Katie, hope she's doing okay, hope she's doing what she needs to do to just get better, whatever she's going through. Karen gives some little crazy off the wall, like, long-winded speech, and it just shows the girls kind of like the party's kind of winding down, or the party scene, Karen's spring fling is kind of coming towards an end. So next we get to Karen. She's getting her boobs done, or she already got her boobs done. So she's going back into the doctor for a checkup, or for them to kind of just, see how she's progressing, see how she's healing. And the doctor says, she's doing good. And Karen just basically says, like, look, I'm getting older. My boobs are starting to sag a little bit. I got a little bit of fat right here on my arms. So, I'm just getting a little tune up. And then she eventually goes home to Ray, and Ray's just like, I don't like it. Like, I don't like that you're getting all this stuff done, and, you know, for vanity purposes, you know, if you really need it, then fine. He's like, but I just don't want any of our nieces or our daughter to think that this is just something they should just run out and do, you know? And Karen's like, I wouldn't recommend this to anyone in their 20s or anything. She's like, but if our, you know, any females or our daughter in our lives feel like they need to do something, and I would encourage them if it makes sense. And Ray's just like, I don't really like it. But you can tell that Karen's older, but Ray is a lot more older. So he is a lot older. So it's kind of like he's just not hit. Ray is ready to just sit back, drink his coffee, read his newspaper every day, and, you know, go play tennis every now and then, and be in bed by 7:30 at night. And Karen is still out and about, you know, hitting the town. And that's, you know, that's just what happens when you marry someone younger than you, Ray. And also, too, Karen's younger than you, and she's in the spotlight. So now she's going to be doing things. You can tell, too, even from the beginning, first season, Karen has gotten her teeth done. It looks like she got a little bit of work done. You know, Karen just got the TV makeover. Like, once you see yourself on TV, like, whoa, let me fix this, let me fix that, let me get better wigs, let me start dressing a little bit better. So Karen is just aware of her self-image all around, and she realizes she's in the public eye. And Karen has really stepped it up over the years. Karen looks good, but Ray's just not here for it at all. Ray's not here for it. Next, we have Candiace. She's at her house. Quick little scene. Her sister, I think her sister's name is Crystal. I could be mistaken. But I think she said Candiace said her sister Crystal was kind of hopping from house to house right now. And she said her sister has been living with her for a little bit until until her sister's new property is finished getting built. So Candiace said her family bought her sister some land, and they're building her house on that. So I'm like, damn, how much money does Candiace's family have? Like, she's like, yeah, my family just, you know, brought my sister some land, and, you know, she's waiting for a house to be built. But Candiace is just enjoying her sister's company, and they're in the kitchen cooking and, you know, having the same conversations. What you've been up to? Candiace is telling her sister about her IVF and wanting to have babies, and, you know, the conflict of Chris's schedule and everything. But it's like, girl, the man is finally working. Like, and that's the thing too. Like, I don't know if it's just the way they're wording it or how they're saying it, but they're making it seem like Chris has never had a job. So they're like, how do you feel about him working now? And it's like, damn, like, was Chris not bringing in any money, like, at all, like, whatsoever? Chris wasn't bringing in any money at all. Sheesh. Okay. So next we get Ashley. Ashley invites one of her new mommy friends over to her house, Deborah, and they're just chatting about, you know, the same old. Ashley's divorce and how she's gonna move on without Michael, and what's going on with the house, and this and that. Deborah's actually very, very pretty. I wouldn't mind seeing her on the show as well. She was giving good conversation, asking good questions, and I feel like scenes like that, they cut them out a lot. And I feel like the way Deborah, you know, I don't know, Deborah just she's good on camera. I'll leave it at that. Deborah just seemed like just a natural on camera. She was asking the right questions. And I feel like this probably won't be the last we see of Deborah, just because of how much camera time they gave Deborah and Ashley. So that was just that. Ashley and her friend Deborah just chatting it up in the house. And they both have babies. So, you know, they're bonding over being new mothers. So next we get the Green Eye Bandits. You got Robin and Gizelle. They meet up for lunch. And they're just chatting about, you know, like Karen's party, Ashley and her divorce, Candiace and Chris sliding into, you know, Ashley and Gizelle's DMs. Also, too, Robin starts getting on Gizelle about, you know, I don't think the way you talk to Mia about the whole cancer thing, you kind of jump down her throat. There's a better way to, you know, come at her like that. Especially if Mia is our friend. Robin's like, I try not to, you know, doubt my friends too much. You know, if you're my friend, I try to trust you and just support you. So they start touching on a whole bunch of different things like that. So Robin tells Gizelle that Ashley's trying to get a house, and she's still going back and forth with Michael. And she's just like, it just doesn't make any sense. But then Robin starts telling Gizelle, like, Gizelle, Ashley told me that Chris, Candiace's husband, slid in her DMs and X, Y, and Z, come meet up at the W. And Gizelle's like, what? So now Gizelle uses that as a segue to share her her DMing and uncomfortable experiences that she has with Chris as well. But wait. Before we get into Gizelle trying to expose Chris to Robin and the whole DMing thing, Robin, when she initially meets up with Gizelle at the cafe, she's like, I have a bone to pick with you, Gizelle. And Giselle's like, what did I do? What did I do? What did I do now? And Robin's like, just think long and hard about what you did or what you might have slipped up and said recently, the last time we were all together. So Robin's like, why did you run your mouth about Juan not being on the house? And Gizelle is like, oh my God, sorry, like that was a mistake. I was just talking so fast, I didn't know. She was like, yeah, but like, why would you tell anybody that? She's like, I told Ashley and I just didn't know. And she was like, I thought you might have already told Ashley. And Robin is like, why would I have already telling Ashley, Gizelle? Like, that just doesn't make any sense. Why would I have already told Ashley, Gizelle? Like, really think about that. And she's like, I don't know. I was just talking so fast. She's like, and when I said it, she's like, it really just kind of, she was like, it came out and I was just like, oops, it came out. She's like, but I didn't say it maliciously or as if I was trying to expose you guys. She's like, I really was just trying to like get Ashley to understand, like, if you're leaving somebody, if you're going through something, like, why are you guys going, doing joint ventures? And I think she was just trying to tell her, like, Juan and Robin are together and Juan's name isn't even on the house. Why the hell are you trying to get a divorce from Michael? And you're trying to put she was just over explaining, and Robin's just like, please just don't do that ever again. Like, how would you like it if I told your business? And Giselle's like, yeah, please don't. No, just Robin, tell all of Giselle's business. We want to know, because you act so damn secretive. Tell it. Because she go on the show telling everybody else's business and meddling in everybody else's relationship. Spill the tea on your friend Robin. But we know that probably will never happen. Picking up from where I left off, Gizelle tries to start telling Robin, like, yeah, so to piggyback off of what you were telling me that Ashley told you about Chris sliding to her DMs, she was like, Chris does that a lot to me too. He slides in my DMs. It's a little uncomfortable. It's like, it's innocent, but it's uncomfortable. So which one is it, Gizelle? Like, how does it make you uncomfortable if it's innocent? Make it make sense, Gizelle. How does that make you uncomfortable if it's innocent? And Robin's like, why does it make you uncomfortable? Like, Chris is our friend. We're friends with Candiace. We've been over their house plenty of times. He cooks for us. He's a gentleman. He's nice. Like, I look at him as like a friend. Like, why? So how does him, communicating with you here and there make you uncomfortable? And Giselle's just like, because it just does, and he's a married man and this and that. So basically, Gizelle has PTSD from always being cheated on from Jamal. All the men that Gizelle has ever dealt with in her life have ever cheated on her and done her wrong. So anything walking with a ding-a-ling in between her legs, Giselle's automatically going to label them as a cheater. If you got a ding-a-ling, you're a cheater in Giselle's eyes. So, and Robin's just like, Gizelle, like, he's not trying to do any of that to you. Chris is a sweetheart. He's friendly to us. And that's not his intentions. I know it isn't. So Gizelle tries to further explain her point, and she's like, well, when we had the reunion, he came into my dressing room and he was trying to talk about Candiace. And she's like, so what? Gizelle, like, maybe he just wanted to talk to you. Like, so what? And Giselle's like, no, he was complaining about Candiace. He was complaining about Candiace. And I feel like men do that when they're trying to like hook up or they're trying to, push up on you. They complain about the troubles in the relationship and they're trying to push up on you for a reason. And Robin is like, that's not what he was doing, Gizelle. Like, you need to calm down. She's like, no, he's a sneaky link. Chris is a sneaky link. I'm like, Gizelle, shut up. You sound like you're getting this lingo like from your kids, and you're just like, you know what I'm trying to say? Like, Gizelle just seemed just so out of touch calling Chris Bassett a sneaky link and saying he slid in my DMs. He slid in my DMs. And Robin's like, he didn't slide in your DMs. He's our friend. Like, you need to relax. But Giselle's like, I still want to talk to Candiace about it. So eventually we're going to see that further on in the episode. Giselle is going to tell Candiace. But even let's rewind to when everyone's kind of leaving. Candiace had to leave Karen Springs Fling a little bit early because she had to go to the Grammys. Giselle's hugging on Chris. Bye, Chris. See you later. You taking, you and Gizelle leaving? He's like, yeah, I got to take, you and Ash, what are all these women's names? Gizelle is giving Chris a hug, and she's like, bye, Chris, you taking Candiace off? And he's like, Chris is like, yeah, I have to take Candiace to the Grammys, this and that. So she's like, okay, bye, take care of my girl. And it's like, Gizelle, were you really holding on to this in your painter's jumpsuit? You really had this like in your pocket the whole time? Like, what are you doing? Like, why are you, like, what is the whole purpose of this? First of all, the reunion was months ago. Now you guys are all coming together for this event. And it's like, why didn't you just tell Candiace then? Like, it just makes you just realize, like, damn, like, you have, like, Gizelle has no loyalty to anybody. I'm also kind of side-eyeing Robin a little bit, but then at the same time, I'm kind of giving Robin a little bit of grace because she has been holding Giselle's feet to the fire this episode. But it's also kind of like, if you're cool with Candiace, Robin, be like, yo, Giselle's kind of saying this and that, but we already know the Green Eye Bandits are going to stick together. But it's also kind of like, if I was Candiace, I would be looking at Robin like, damn, Robin, me and you've been hanging out for a couple days now. Or I've seen you prior to this. Why haven't you like telling me any of this? Like, damn. That's just kind of how I would feel personally if I was Candiace. But I don't know. I just wanted to throw that in there too. So Giselle's saying all this, but you're giving Chris a hug. You're so uncomfortable, but you're very, you know, still being cool and chummy and buddy. Like, wouldn't you think you'd be trying to keep your distance, but you're so uncomfortable by it? Like, girl, get out of here with the BS. If that was Juan, I don't think this would be a storyline. If that was Juan, I think she might have been like, you know, Robin, Juan pulled me to the side, but it would have never been brought to the cameras and made into a storyline like Giselle's doing with Candiace. I think it's ridiculous. So Jacqueline, Mia, and G, they all meet up for lunch or whatever. It would have been nice to kind of just see Jacqueline and Mia in this scene. We didn't need G there to kind of, you know, chaperone or third wheel. It would have just been nice to just see the dynamics between the two of them. But they are so close that you can tell that their interactions and everything is just so natural. And G's probably just used to Jacqueline always being around. So, you know, it's not like it doesn't seem like they're acting a certain way or, you know, being more reserved because G is there. They all seem like they're just one big friend group for the most part. But it would have been nice to just to see Mia and Jacqueline interacting in this scene. But they all sit down and they meet up, and you know, Mia says that her and Jacqueline have been friends since they were 15. So I'm like, damn, you guys been friends since you were 15, and something has happened on this show that you guys aren't friends anymore. Because we haven't gotten to that part yet, but in the blogs and, you know, everywhere else online, you see that Mia and Jacqueline just aren't effing with each other anymore. They just not friends or not cool. So you got Jacqueline and Mia, they're talking, and Jacqueline's just like, how are you feeling? And Mia's like, I'm good. I just got to get a couple more tests done. I'm like, how many more tests do you need, Mia? Like, first you're saying you're fine. You just told your mom you're okay. Now you need more tests after already going for another test. It's just like test after test after test after test. Like, what's wrong with Mia? So Jacqueline's just basically like, look, I don't appreciate the ladies jumping on you like that. It's kind of, you know, I thought it was disgusting. You're sharing this news with them, and all they can really do is, you know, deny and you know, be skeptical of what you're saying. I don't appreciate that. I thought it was very disgusting, and I'm glad I was there to kind of stick up for you and defend you. And Jacqueline's like, and I also don't like Karen kind of playing both sides of the fence. What did she say? CYA, like covering your ass. And Mia's like, what the hell is CYA? And they're like, covering your ass. I feel like Karen was kind of trying to cover your ass, but she kind of was also playing both sides of the fence. I don't think Karen was playing both sides of the fence. I think Karen was just playing the game. Like, she already knows that whatever she says is going to be brought back on camera. You know, Karen's not new to this. But at the same time, she's like, Mia is also my girl, so I'm going to give her the benefit of the doubt. So she's still being a friend to Mia anyways. But Jacqueline's just like, I think it's disgusting how they were treating you. And Mia's like, yeah, and I don't know why Karen took all day to tell me. She's like, Karen literally was texting me as I'm driving to the Spring Fling kickoff party. Like, hey, girl, just let you know, da-da-da-da. And Mia's like, basically, translation, you guys are all talking shit about me all week long. And now I'm about to come meet up with you guys, and you know, now you're trying to give me a heads up. And Mia's like, oh, you live 5 minutes down the street from me, Karen. You could have came to my house and told me this. Or, you know, we ran into each other. We've been on the phone multiple times since this spring party. You could have given me the heads up then. So that's why Jacqueline's also just kind of like, yeah, I just feel like Karen's kind of playing both sides of the fence. But Mia's like, Gizelle did text me, you know, apologizing and saying, you know, maybe we can meet up and this and that. And just, you know, talk about it. And she said Gizelle was just texting her like, I'm sorry with how things happened. I would like for us to meet up and maybe, you know, talk about it. And she said, I didn't even respond to that bitch. She's like, I think she was like, book an appointment. She's like, I'll see you when I see you, book an appointment. She's like, I really just don't have time to respond to disrespect. I think that's what she said. I think Ashley and Candiace's friendship would have translated a little bit better on camera if they had a little bit more group scenes and we got them sitting down individually later on in the season. I think episode 1 and 2, right off the bat, them kind of, it seems a little forced. It seems a little weird, especially with them being so almost every year and every season. But I can say I can appreciate that they're able to bury the hatchet and kind of help, move the storylines along and stuff like that. Because at the end of the day, like I said, we are tuning into a show to watch Girlfriends, and that's just what it is, ups and downs, and, reconciling and just burying the hatchet, moving forward. And I can say I can appreciate that. I just think some of us who have watched the show for years and season after season, we're kind of like, when y'all start coming buddy so fast, where y'all can just film with each other, just the two of you guys, but it is still good to see, but I think if they were just to be able to be around the group as a whole, and we see the chemistry between them and them just all getting along as a whole, and then be like, you know what, let's do dinner, and kind of like, maybe segue into them doing individual scenes that way, rather than just being like, yeah, I'm gonna go meet up with Candiace now, and it's like, huh, what? Okay. But so we're about to get the same old thing, the dragging Chris. So Ashley's like, hey, I just wanted to tell you about Chris DMing me about going to the W, and Candiace is just like, look, Chris works at the W. He's the manager. He's trying to get young, hot, new faces in there, help promote it, help, get the word out about the W. And that's why he DM'd you. Like, it's no big deal. I'm not worried about it. And Ashley's just like, okay, all right, well, I'm glad. She's like, I just wanted to let you know because it did seem a little strange to me, especially with the time he was, messaging me. It just seemed a little strange. But if you're fine with it, then hey, I'm gonna let it go. So they squash it and they let it go. So Ashley is Ashley put together, a little dance class for all the ladies to come to. So Ashley, Robin, Gizelle, and Charisse, they all get there first. They're sitting down waiting for the ladies, just talking, eating cupcakes, champagne, all that stuff. They're waiting outside the classroom, and they're just hanging out at the dance studio, waiting for the rest of the ladies. And Robin tells Gizelle and Ashley, like, is there anything else? Is there anything you guys need to talk about? And Giselle's like, I don't know, is there? So Ashley's like, I just wanted to tell you, Gizelle, I didn't appreciate you, basically saying you thought I was lying and, you interrogating me about my situation, my divorce, whatever. And Giselle's like, I just think it's weird. Like, I didn't say I think you were lying. She's like, you're getting me mixed up. She said, I thought Mia was lying. She said, I just thought your situation was weird and it doesn't make sense. If you're divorcing somebody, why are you getting a house with them? And Ashley is like, look, there's no statute of limitations on my affection for somebody. We have kids, and it just makes more sense because financially, Michael has more money, and I can get the house that we want. And Charisse kind of like interrupts, and she's like, so you just need Michael to help you get a house? Like, he's just helping you for financial reasons? And Ashley's like, yeah, like, she's like, because of my situation and circumstances, Michael has more money, so, we figured we get a house together, but it's going to be my house. And Charisse is like, I don't see an issue with that. But Ashley and Gizelle are going back and forth, and she's just like, I didn't know there was a statute of limitation on your affection for somebody. Giselle's just like, it just doesn't make any sense, Ashley. Like, she's like, I would never get a house with Jamal. She's like, yeah, but you got back with him, like, after so many years. She's like, yeah, but he's not like, she's like, that was years later, and, we were divorced, but, and they were just going back and forth. And Giselle's just basically saying, like, look, I just want you to be happy. If, as long as you're not getting hurt and you're doing the right thing, like, I just want you to be happy. And Ashley kind of was going on and on about, like, look, I didn't say nothing about you and Jamal getting back together, flip-flopping, like, but, and Giselle's like, yeah, but when we divorced. We weren't getting houses together and everything else like that. She's like, we kind of reconciled and got back together a couple of years later, but she's like, we didn't get a, divorce. She's like, and there's children involved. You should know how it feels, Gizelle. Like, come on. Ashley says, Giselle's like, why are you getting in the house with him? And she's like, he's cheating on you, this and that. And Ashley's like, well, he hasn't been cheating lately. Giselle's like, what? This is crazy. Like, what are you talking about? He hasn't been cheating on you lately. Ashley just sounds crazy. Like I said, I feel like this divorce is it's been a long time coming. Almost every season, Ashley and Michael have been a united front. To now, all of a sudden, they're now getting divorced, just all of a sudden. Like I said, I feel like that's their way of Michael not having to film. Oh, we're getting a divorce, so it's like, hey, Michael's just not around anymore. I feel like they want to both do their own thing and date and be single. And I feel like that's just their way of being able to be like, look, we're getting a divorce. I bet you they probably won't even get a divorce for like another 2-3 seasons. I feel like they're going to drag it out, act like they don't know what they're doing. Ashley's going to seem so distraught in the next few seasons. Watch, I'm telling you now. And I just feel like it's their way to kind of like break off and do their own thing because they already been doing it. And it's like, I think the defending of Michael just got old. They're in the public eye. Ashley constantly having to defend every little scandal and thing that Michael did that got out and got leaked because Michael might have been being a little sloppy. I feel like they might have had an agreement with each other, but because Michael's being sloppy, Ashley had to always defend him, and it seemed like he was cheating on her when really they have an open relationship the whole entire time. So now it's easy to just say we're getting a divorce. Michael doesn't have to film as much because he's already rubbed a lot of the ladies the wrong way anyway on the cast, and it just allows them to do their own thing. I think that's the real tea with Michael and Ashley. That's just me. Don't say, watch guys, I come back and I'll be right. Watch. So the rest of the ladies get there and we continue on to the dance class. They're dancing, having fun, whatever, do their little 8 count. They all get there. And Gizelle pulls Candiace to the side. So Robin's also talking, like, what's going on with you, girl? And, Candiace starts sharing to Robin about her IVF process and everything else like that. And Giselle's like, hey, Robin, I kind of want to talk to Ashley. Ashley, what the hell are these girls' names? Giselle's like, hey, Robin, I kind of want to talk to Candiace alone. Can you give us some time? So Robin leaves out of the dance studio and Gizelle and Candiace sit down and they talk. So she's like, hey, I just wanted to tell you, I know you've, gotten word about what Chris has been DMing Ashley. And you can tell Candiace is sitting there like, okay, what? Like, is there more that I didn't, like, what? Even just her facial expression, she's like, okay, yeah, my husband. What about him? Like, she's kind of like, what the hell, Gizelle? Like, spit it out. Like, if you ain't got nothing to say, then don't say it at all. Like, why do you pull me to the side? Like, what is it? Like, I already had to deal with Ashley saying something. Now what, Gizelle? Like, what do you want? So she starts telling him, Gizelle starts telling Candiace, like, okay, so after reunion, Chris pulled me to the side and he said he wanted to talk to me. I kind of felt like he was waiting around for me. And she said he wanted to, Giselle's like, Chris said he wanted to talk to me. She was like, okay, fine. I didn't see any issue with it because, I figured we can go talk in my room. My glam was there. I figured, it's a safe space if my glam is there. She's like, but my glam wasn't there. Then in the room. So that was already uncomfortable for me then, right there. So it's like, okay, Gizelle, so why would you even proceed into the room? If you felt like it was an uncomfortable situation, why would you sit there and keep leading him down that dark path? If your brain is already thinking something negative, why are you continuing to go? Like, it's like you almost kind of did it just to see where things would go. So it's like, Gizelle, you are dangerous. Like, you really are. There's something off with you and it's not right. And the fact that you held on to this, something so small, and you held on to it for so long just to bring it to the cameras and make it seem like it was something this big, you're dangerous. And the fact that you couldn't shoot Candiace a text message or, even after the show, like, hey girl, Chris kind of pulled me to the side trying to talk to me, seemed a little off. Nothing happened. I'm just letting you know that I did have a private conversation with Chris in my dressing room. You could even center something like that. And if you want to drag it onto the show like you're doing now, fine. But to hold on to it, run into them, in the beginning of filming, hugging them, whatever, and never saying a word. You didn't even pull Candiace to the side at the spring kickoff. It was just very weird. And I think Giselle's just very dangerous. And like I said, if you got a ding-a-ling in between your legs, Gizelle thinks you're a cheater. She's so damn traumatized by what Jamal did to her that, no man can be trusted in Giselle's eyes. So Candiace is like, are you being for real right now, Gizelle? And Giselle's like, yeah. She's like, and I even talked to Cal about it. So I even talked to my hairstylist Cal about it. And Cal said, like, well, Chris knew that I left. Chris said bye to me. So, he knew that you had no glam or nobody around. So, yeah, I think it's a little weird. It's a little sneaky. Cal, Giselle's hairstylist, Cal, you need to worry about getting Giselle's wigs right because it's been 7 seasons and her hair still looks a mess. Stop instigating stuff between Chris and Candiace and Gizelle, Cal. You need to worry about getting Giselle's wigs right, plucking the part because the wigs look like they're sitting on her head like this, and they look like they're about to hop off any minute now. The moment the camera say cut, the wigs look like they about to jump off Giselle's head. The wigs look a mess. That's what you need to be worrying about, perfecting your craft, because you have, a walking billboard essentially on a TV show, and every time Gizelle says, this is my hairstylist, or every time you're on camera, it's not a good look because Giselle's hair looks a mess almost every scene. Every wig, every scene, it looks a mess, Cal. You need to be worried about getting Gizelle's wigs together and not Candiace and Chris. Chris is not cheating on Candiace. Candiace is like, are you kidding me, Gizelle? So you're telling me that you feel like because you and my husband had a conversation in your room that he was up to something? She's like, yeah, it was uncomfortable for me. She's like, my husband looks at you guys as sisters. Every time you come over to the house, great hospitality. He welcomes you with open arms into our house. She's like, Chris would literally lay his coat over a puddle so you can walk over it. And you're come to me with this BS. Really, Gizelle? And Gizelle was like, I'm just telling you, like, it made me uncomfortable. She's like, so my husband made you uncomfortable, Gizelle? She's like, yes, it did. So Candiace kind of breaks the fourth wall at this point. She's like, what are we doing? Like, she starts looking at the camera crew, and the main camera pans out, and you see all the camera guys and everything like that in the room. And Candiace is like, what are we doing? Like, are we for real? So now it's like, now attack Chris now. We're demonizing Chris right now. Like, what are we doing? She gets up, she grabs her bags, and she's like, where's Eric? Where's Eric? Where's Eric? Eric is the producer of Real Housewives of Potomac. So Candiace is like, where's Eric at? Like, we're not doing this. Like, where's Eric? And, you know, she's breaking the fourth wall. She's calling for the producers. And you see Candiace is walking off. She's walking through the dance studio. She's going into the bathroom. You got Mia. I don't even know where Mia was. Was Mia out there? Yeah, Mia and the rest of the ladies, they're all like, oh, what's going on with Candiace? What's going on? Candiace goes in the bathroom and she's talking to the producer, Eric, and she's like, this is what we're not going to do. She's like, we're not going to malign my husband. We're not going to sit here and make Chris out to be this cheater and this creep. And if you want to talk about husbands making women feel uncomfortable, you have Michael Darby for that. The ass-grabbing Michael Darby is the one who makes everyone feel uncomfortable. Not my husband, Chris. We are not doing this. And it goes off. So we have next episode. I don't even know what the clip was for next episode. I don't even know it showed or played. But Gizelle, you were wrong for that. I really think, Gizelle, you're wrong. And for you and Candiace to be in a good space, for you to kind of hold on, like I said, to hold on to this for so long, just to kind of, you know, bring it to the show, it's quite ridiculous to me. It's ridiculous, and it's like Gizelle just really has no loyalty to anyone besides her own friend Robin. And it's like, I would love to see Gizelle doing something else besides just trying to like instigate things and find the negative in everyone's relationship when she doesn't even have one of her own. Not saying that you need to be in a relationship and, you know, that validates you, but it's just like, there's just something off with Gizelle, and it's like, okay, yeah, she's good for the show, and, you know, she might help produce scenes and get things going and rolling, but it's like, at the end of the day, it's like, sometimes you just watch the show and you just look at Gizelle like, you're just not a good person sometimes, and it makes me side-eye Robin, because it's like, birds of a feather flock together, and it's kind of like, yeah, while Robin might not be meddling in, different relationships, I think because of, you know, her own relationship is a little rocky, and I feel like that's where Gizelle doesn't draw the line at, and that's maybe where Robin draws the line. I still feel like Robin kind of condones it. I feel like Robin has been getting the heat and seeing what people have been saying online, so I feel like this episode I can, you know, applaud Robin, because she was kind of holding Gizelle accountable, like, you're tripping a little bit, or, you know, watch what you say, as if you're supposed to be my friend, watch your mouth and know how to hold on to some secrets. But I don't know, I just feel like I won't make this about Robin too much. This is about Gizelle. Gizelle, you're wrong for that. You need to really stop, and you really need to reflect and realize, like, okay, what am I doing? Like, Candiace and Chris have been nothing but great to me. I've been over the house several times, and Gizelle's like, in her confessional, she's like, somebody who has been cheated on, I know what it feels like, and I know when things feel off and this and that. And I feel like Chris was trying to see what's up. Like, if I wanted to, he was trying to see what's up. He already pulled me in there to trying to complain about Candiace, and I feel like he was trying to see what's up. But you still kept saying it's innocent, nothing happened. So how, like, what are you getting at that insinuated that Chris was trying to do something to you in that room besides maybe vent or talk to you about Candiace? Like, what do you know what I'm trying to say? Maybe he kind of maybe is looking up to you, like, okay, Gizelle, you're a little bit older. I see, you know, Candiace looks up to you. I seen you guys have been bonding lately. Like, can I talk to you about this and that? Maybe he just wanted some advice. Like, you're not even trying to give him the benefit of the doubt. So that was episode 2, guys. Let me know what you guys think in the comments. Drop down. I would love to hear from you guys. Follow me on Instagram. Follow me on TikTok at I'm Sean. I'll leave it all in the description. Like, comment, subscribe. I'll see you guys in the next for the next episode.